So when I think about favorite Bible stories about Jesus' disciples, my favorite disciple maybe is Peter, because I like his personality, his spontaneous responses sometimes. But I think the story that I love the most is the story of Mary and Martha. And the reason I enjoy that story is I think it reminds me so much of my own life and sometimes the way I think. Jesus is on his way to the home of Martha and her sister Mary. And so Martha is busy getting ready. I mean, there are guests coming, so she's got to get the house ready and prepare the food and set the table. And as Jesus arrives, Mary, her sister, leaves the work that has to be done and goes and sits at Jesus' feet. She goes to hear him talk, to teach, to learn from him. And when Martha sees this, Martha gets a little bit upset and says, Jesus, can't you tell Mary to come back and help me, because there is just so much work to do? And Jesus looks at Martha and says, Martha, 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 Mary needs one thing right now, and that's me. You need to think about that too. She's not going to be deprived of this one thing that she needs. This weekend, when we were up at our cabin, we were getting ready to go out onto the dock to go fishing, and we knew there were a lot of things that still had to be done. So my husband wasn't feeling very well, so I asked my son if he wouldn't help do some of the work, and he said, sure, I'll help. So I pack up a few things that I needed to take down, and as I'm getting to the stairway to go down to the dock, there's my son putzing away with his rod and his reel. And I said, we need you down at the dock. He says, I know, I'll get there. I just have to get my rod and my reel first, all ready to go. And I was a little frustrated, because my thought was, don't you see the work that still needs to be done, and you're sitting here working on your rod and reel? And the fact is, it all got done. I worried about the fact that my son didn't put my priorities ahead of his own priorities, and so I got focused on the wrong thing. And he came down, he got down there, the work was all done, we got out fishing, it was a great day. And so it reminded me a little bit of the story of Mary and Martha. Martha was a little bit right, but she was a little bit wrong. And Mary was maybe a little bit right and a little bit wrong. But mostly it's that Mary needed one thing at that time. And I think we all have those moments in our lives when we lose track. We are distracted by the most important things that we need in our lives, and that's Jesus. We get so focused on the things we have to get done, our lists of things to do, and we forget that sometimes we need to just stop, take a break, and listen to what Jesus might have to say, and how Jesus might guide us in the things that are most troubling in our own lives right now.
Thank you so much for listening to this devotion. We welcome you to join St. Andrew Pastors every Monday morning at 10:30. We'll provide a brief devotion on a scripture passage and then host a conversation and mutual support. Make sure to register online. Remember, in this Together live edition, Monday mornings at 10:30.